Finding the area and perimeter of complex figures can be confusing, and sometimes we forget the steps that we need to take. The purpose of this video is to remind you how we found the area and perimeter in class and to make sure that you can be successful on your homework. The first example I want to talk to you about is one that we did in class today. Remember, we have missing sides, and that's the first thing we need to fill in whenever we're finding the area and the perimeter of a complex figure. My first missing side that I'm going to look at is this one here. Because I know that rectangles have parallel congruent sides, if this side is 2, this side also has to be 2. My next blank follows the same rule. If this side is 5, this side also has to be 5. The last blank holds a little bit of a challenge. Remember, this side of my figure is a total of 9 inches. Because of that, I know that this side also has to be 9 inches. I have 3 and 3 of those inches already present. 3 plus 3 is 6. What do I need to get to the total of 9? I need 3 more inches. Now that I've filled in my blanks, I can move ahead with finding my perimeter. When we find our perimeter, we always start at the top and we work our way clockwise through each one of the sides so that we don't miss any. Starting with 2, then I go 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 2, and 9. I'm going to double check and make sure that I didn't miss any. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. I must be good. Now I can start adding up my numbers. I'll get rid of my 3s, 3, 6, 9, my 5s, 5, 10, my 2s, 4, and my 9. Then I'm going to combine my 9s, which is 18. 10 and 4 is 14. 8 plus 4 is 12. Add up my 1s. My answer is 32 inches. Let's move on to finding the area of this complex figure. When I want to find the area of a complex figure, I want to split it into shapes that I know how to find the area of. And in this case, that would be a rectangle. We know that the area of a rectangle is length times width, and I can split this complex figure into 2 rectangles. The easiest way to do that would be to split it right down the center there. Now that I have 2 manageable rectangles, I need to find the area of each and add together the areas. The length and the width of my first triangle is 2 times 9, which equals 18. The length and the width of my second rectangle is 5 times 3, which equals 15. But I want to find the total area of both rectangles, so I need to add together both areas, 18 plus 15. 3 and 3. The area of this complex figure is 33 inches squared. Now that we've done one example, hopefully you've remembered how to find the area and perimeter of a complex figure. You can go on to your homework. If, however, you're still struggling finding the area and perimeter, I will do one more example for you. Here is my second example of a complex figure. With this example, like the last, the first thing I want to do is I want to fill in the blanks in my shape. I'm going to start with the top one. If I have 4 over here, I know I've got to have 4 here. Same thing here. If 3 is here, I also have to have 3 here. I'm going to skip this one and move to this next one. If I have 2 here, I also must have 2 here. This last blank, I have to be very careful. If I know that this is 2 meters here, this also must be 2 meters. Knowing that, This looks a lot like a square to me, and squares have 4 equal congruent sides. So if 2 meters are on every one of the other sides, this top one must be 2 meters, but I'm missing 1 meter of it. So this part right here would be 1 meter. Now that I've found all of my sides, I need to add them up. There are a lot of numbers in this complex figure, which makes it very challenging. I'm going to use my trick by starting at the top and moving clockwise. 4, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4. Thankfully, I have a lot of doubles in this problem, so I'm going to take all of my 2's and take them out and add them together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now I'm going to move on to my 3's. 3, 6, 9. And my 4's. 4, 8, 12. Plus one more. I'm going to add that onto my 9 to make it an even 10. 10 plus 10 plus 12 is 32. The perimeter of this complex figure is 32 meters. Now, in order to find the area, I need to break this complex figure into multiple rectangles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this off here and pretend like these are all separate squares. So I'm going to find the area of my first square here, which is 4 times 4, which equals 16. Then I'm going to multiply 3 meters times 3 meters. Why? Because my length here is 2 meters plus 1 more meter over here. So 2 meters and 1, so 3 times 3 is 9. And finally, my last square would be 2 times 2. 16 plus 9 is 25, plus 4 more is 29. The area of this complex figure is 29 meters squared. Hope that was a good refresher for you to remind you what we talked about in class today. I wish you the best of luck and success on your homework tonight. Have a great night.